Is it time? Well, it's about time.
Lotus are supposed to like the worst soil you can find. You know, the muck at the bottom of the pond. So, as you these two did well in that, are planted in clay.
I really didn't want to dig a hole, and I needed a little bit of this clay for these lotus. So these containers are about 3/4 full. Let's take a look at what Scott gave us. Scott said he was cleaning up his tubs and splitting them apart, and he had extra. Wanted to know if I'd like a few. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we have here. These are the edible tubers. These are the ones that we sampled last year. They're pretty tasty. They've been sitting out in his containers all winter long. But these look great. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put the bigger ones in this container. Take out some of this clay. I'm not going to separate them any more than they were. I'm just going to put this in here. And I got some of these smaller ones. Put in these smaller containers, kind of around the edges. And I'm just barely going to cover some of them, just enough to keep them from floating. And see, they're already starting to, you can see right here, they're already starting to come alive. Okay, that's a mess. Put you guys in here. Okay, well, I think that's that. And quite a bit in this one. Put that clay back in there. Scott did give me a few more seeds, so we're going to go ahead and start those. Sort of like my tomatoes, it was a mixed bag. We have no idea what we can expect. And we're going to go ahead and fill that up with water. We'll be right back. Let's go ahead and get those lotus seeds started.
And you would cut off.
How far do you cut it back?
Just past that.
The white
yeah.
ring?
If you cut it off, water can get inside of there. Now, like I said, it's hard as a brick. What you find is if you soak these in water, they soften up a huge amount. I would soak it first and get it soft. Then you could cut through it, because you see on the internet, you see guys using shears and things, or trying to file it off.
Now remember, the first thing you want to do, get a container of water. Now place all your seeds in that container. You can poke them a little bit. Alright, any of them that float, you're going to have to set aside and discard. They're not going to do anything. Now all the ones that stay below water, those are the ones you're going to want to take and crack the hull on. Now remember, I did it a couple different ways. You can use a file. I used the shears. That seemed to work pretty good. Alright, now that you got them cracked, just put them back in the water and wait. In 3 to 8 days, you ought to have little green sprouts. I'm not going to mess around with these two buckets. It's just now getting warm enough that if they're going to do something, and if they live through that 19-degree weather, we're going to find out about it here pretty soon, I'd imagine. We have 4 seeds that have sprouted in here. Let's gently try to get these out and pulled apart. I can't wait any longer. You 3 are going to go in the one container. You're going to go in this container. Alright, the trick is, from what I understand, you don't really want to bury the seed. You just want the seed sitting on this soil. You don't want the seed floating. Now, I do have a couple rocks. We're going to try this, because these seem to be just... This is why I wanted the water to be clearer, so I could actually tell. I'm just going to sit this right on the edge of the seed, just to make sure it doesn't float up. Riley, what do you think of the new lotus garden? It's got to grow, doesn't it? Oh, I know. Mainly I talk about things you can eat, and there are a lot of flowers that are edible. These roots are going to be one of them. They are pretty tasty, and I can't wait till this fall. We're going to have a barbecue with lotus roots. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.